We know that AI and machine learning have moved out of the lab into our homes, cars, and phones. And they've done that by entering the human world of sight, sound, and uncertainty. So with sound, it's perfectly normal to speak to your phone and expect your phone to speak back to you in a perfectly intelligible and correct language voice. Similarly with Alexa and other similar digital assistants. But think of this. Recently, as of 2019, there's live translating where imagine you speak only English and you're speaking to someone who speaks only Chinese or Russian or Arabic. They could be across the world by phone or right next to you. But you say what you want to say in your language, and the system listens to that and thinks about, okay, what's the meaning of that message? Then it translates the meaning in your language to how would that be said in the other language, not word by word, but the meaning. Then it translates that meaning into the actual words that would be expressed, and then it expresses those words in your voice. Those 5 steps are all critically based on AI and machine learning, and wow. But we only use our voice during part of the day. We're not listening every waking moment, but we're seeing every waking moment. Vision is always with us. And machine vision already recognizes people by learning their faces. Self-driving cars can recognize other cars, pedestrians, bicycles, motorcycles, trees, curbs. But for the past decade or more, if you handwrite an envelope to mail, the post office's system will automatically read that handwriting. Similarly, if you deposit a handwritten check, the bank will automatically read that handwriting. Think of the variability that we have in handwriting. Think of how often how hard it is for you to read some cursive writing. Machines can now read that as well as you can. But how about if machines know what you want or what you would like better than your friends, better than the people who know you the best? For the past decade, we've had recommendations of books or movies that we would like. How does that happen? Because they're often better than the recommendations from your closest friend. Well, the systems record all of the purchases you've made of books or movies, and all those that you've viewed or read online. And then if you've rated them, it ranks which ones you've liked and disliked. And then it compares those to people who've read or viewed similar material, what they like and what they're also reading or viewing. And then it recommends that you may like that. So it's intelligence. It knows you by remembering your prior preferences and then making probabilistic predictions. Now, that idea of probability is core here, because we're used to thinking of computers as like totally accurate and correct. But that's not what we're talking about in AI and machine learning. It's more like the way our brain works, where we're pretty good, but we're not perfect. In fact, there are 2 kinds of statistics, and this is important. This isn't like trivial in the weeds stuff, because the kind of statistics you may have been taught are not the kind of statistics that AI and machine learning systems use. Frequentist statistics have been commonly taught for decades, and the result of an experiment might be, we are confident of these results to within some little error. In other words, we're pretty certain of this. That's true in medicine and all over the place. The opposite way, the other way, is Bayesian, where, like the recommender systems, it looks at at the prior knowledge, maybe of your book purchases, and then creates a probability that you will like this in the future. Let's use a hypothetical drug example. So imagine there's a new pill in some big study. 51% of the patients taking this pill improve. Well, a frequentist would say, more than half, that means it's doing something good. This drug is effective. The Bayesian, using the same data, will say the patient taking this drug is 51% likely to improve. Same data, same studies, but a different way to think about the results. So the Bayesian model was created by Reverend Thomas Bayes about 25 years before the American Revolution. He was an English cleric who thought about statistics, and shouldn't your prior beliefs have something to do with how you process how you calculate the statistics? And then, is the result certain, or should it more be probabilities? And he developed those ideas until he realized, he's a religious man. And he felt that God would not ever create a world that was not based on certainty and truth. So he abandoned those ideas. They were independently rediscovered by the great French mathematician Laplace about 25 years later. He developed the algorithm, published it, was a little disappointed to find that Thomas Bayes, the English cleric, had gotten there before he did. So the probability is actually a better way to look at our own brains and how we behave than the frequentist model. There's actually a field called computational neuroscience that researches this. So how sure are you of your interpretations, your conclusions, your decisions? Look at this foggy picture down there. What do you see? Just take a moment and think, what are you sure of what you're seeing and what is pretty kind of unsure? So you can probably see three what might be vehicles, especially since they're in a road and there are some red lights in the back of one. Have you seen the traffic signals? Take a look up there. Do you see them now? But do they say stop or go? Are there other signals? Well, do you see something over there? And is there a hint of green? Well, think of Bayes' rule. You use your beliefs, the prior knowledge. Fog reduces visibility. It changes your behavior. You drive more slowly, defensively, because the other driver can't see. You assume that what you see will have ambiguity. If you're smart, you'll get off the road till fog clears. So the big ideas here, the reflection is that AI and machine learning are now accessible wherever you are, in your home, your school, your work, through voice, through vision, and it can in some ways know in advance what you might like. The AI statistics, machine learning statistics, use probability models like Bayesian statistics. And the knowledge to embrace is that there is knowledge in your beliefs. There's a reason why you believe something, and there's knowledge there. Not certainty, but knowledge. Using that, extending it through evidence, you get probabilities, not certainties, like climate change. We have strong probabilities, but we won't have certain knowledge till it happens.